Hi everyone, Brandon Lutz here, and I'm really excited to talk to you about 6x10, which is a new communication we're going to send out this school year from the Department of Innovation. So, what is 6x10? 6x10 are 6 apps, tools, resources, ideas that we're going to share with you every month for the next 10 months. The idea around it is that the month we share it, the next month will be when you can really utilize those tools. So if I look here, we have a calendar. So August, we're back to school. We'll share those resources with you and things that hopefully you can utilize with your students in September. And then September is Connect. It's actually Connected Educator Month in October, so we're going to share resources that are around connecting that you could maybe then use in October. And then Analyze for October, thinking of November, when we start thinking about data and all that stuff. And then November, December is the Hour of Code, so we'll share coding stuff that you can maybe use with your students in December. And then we will determine everything else we're going to do for our themes as the year goes on. So, moving on here. So the first of our 6x10 for this year, or for this month I should say, are the ISTE standards. So in the 6x10, you'll see on the website, we'll provide the educator and the student standards. If this is one of the tools you like to focus on, you could go ahead and check those out and read them. It's really a different way of thinking about teaching students and also looking at yourself with the educator standards of how you're using technology to impact instruction and to innovate your classroom. So a pretty quick and easy one. The ISTE standards. This is the educator standards, so it's a pretty quick read. Check it out. Maybe you just take one idea or thought you'd like to do for yourself, somewhere you'd like to focus to innovate. And then for your students, if you have that lesson, you could pick, again, another standard and see how that fits into a lesson you're teaching to start thinking about how we're preparing kids for the future when they get ready to graduate from high school and go to college or go to get that job. Because the ISTE standards really encompasses that full round student who has a lot of different skills. So definitely worth checking out if that's the one you like to work with. The second one here under Leader, because I connected these to the ISTE standards, is Wakelet. So this would be really a leader for a teacher. This is simply a social bookmarking site where you can curate resources. So if you want to share resources for students or just for yourself, I personally use it to share websites and stuff that I find that might be able to share with you later. But the cool thing is there's a teaching book in here that you can check out that gives all kinds of different ways you can use Wakelet in your classroom, just not for curation or for bookmark collecting, but even as a back channel and things like that. So if that interests you, go ahead and check that out and those resources as well. Number 3 here, if I can get this to change over, is for collaborator, again, looking at for a teacher, Google Forms. So a lot of teachers have asked us about Google Forms and how you can create those to collect information. So we have a video on there that will help you create a Google form to collect parent information that you can actually then upload into Google Contacts to create a communication group to email and communicate with parents. You could even do that with students if you want. But you could also use Google Forms to collect pictures or for assessment data if you want to do a quiz that way if you want. So there's lots of ways you can use Google Forms. So that's one we wanted to share with you today too. Number 4 here. Is kite learning. So a lot of you have heard of kite learning. Kite learning we've been using that for professional development. So we want you to take a peek at the courses, and maybe there's something you'd like to do. You could become SMART certified through Kite. You could become Google certified and learn how to get ready to take that test for Google. But Kite's a great place to look for resources or things that maybe you want to use specifically in your lessons that maybe we're not sharing with you. So we just want to put Kite out there. Maybe Kite's your focus. Maybe you want to see how can I develop myself, collaborator and designer. Because the other thing is we're actually going to be asking teachers if they'd like to create some Kite courses for us in the future. So thinking about, hey, what could I share in my classroom as a designer or just as a collaborator if you're looking to learn yourself. So that would be number 4. That was collaborator, Kite. Citizen, so Google Plus PLC. So again, sticking with the ISTE standards of being a good citizen and joining PLC, so professional learning community, where you can work with other teachers that are interested in instructional technology, or innovation, I should say, or even data. So we have 2 different PLCs. If you're interested in getting more information about innovation and you want more, you just can't get enough from us, that's where we're going to put a lot of extra stuff. We're not going to waste everyone's time giving them access to everything because it can be a little overwhelming. But if you love that stuff, come to this PLC. The cool thing is we're going to share, but all your other people you're working with that are in the group, we want stuff from you guys too to see what you're sharing around data and innovation. And then Ms. Flood will be creating one for Canvas too, so we'll have one around Canvas. So it's collaborating, working together. Not, I always say we're smarter as a group than we are as an individual, right? So that's, you could join the PLC if you haven't already. The last one here is Creative Communicator. And now this is one of the student standards. And this is called Flipgrid. And Miss Flynn was nice enough to create some content for us. She loves Flipgrid. She's a Flipgrid ambassador. And she created a video on how you can use Flipgrid in the classroom. And we've also provided you with a classroom sheet, or like I forget what it's called, but you can work through it. And it gives all kinds of ideas of how you could use Flipgrid in your classroom. So Flipgrid, just a quick synopsis of it, it allows you to create little classes where the kids can share their ideas up to 90 seconds. And so they do like a video communication, and they can see each other's videos and communicate back and forth in a closed environment. So it's not like everyone in the world's going to see it. It's just the students in your class. So it gets the kids reflecting orally and speaking rather than just typing or journaling. So a little bit different, but there's all kinds of different ways and ideas that you can use Flipgrid as well, just like with Wakelet. So definitely check out the user guide. That's what the word I was looking for. The user guide on that. So that's our 6 things, 6 times 10 for this month. And want to remind you, the innovation website, this is where we're keeping everything under 6 times 10, and we're going to send you emails out. And there's a s'more that you're looking at right now that's connected to this that has all the resources underneath that will connect you right to our innovation website. So just want to put that out there for you. And then we are also going to be supporting the schools this year. So we've actually created an instructional support calendar where either Lisa or myself will be at your school for the day to support you if you have questions around the 6 times 10, or if you want smartboard support, or you Google Apps, Canvas, Google Classroom, whatever you may use. We're going to be available to support and help you any way we can. And we've decided to put together this calendar to show you when we're going to be there. It would be on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursdays. So we have that calendar set up that will also be on the innovation website that you can check out. Okay? So we're going to be around and available, but it doesn't mean you also, if we're not scheduled to be at your school for 2 weeks, doesn't mean you can't email us and ask questions, or we can always come out and visit you other than those dates if it works better for you at another time. So that was 6 times 10. Hopefully you found some tool that resonates with you or something you want to look at that will help you. And then we'll be back. We'll be sending more information about 6 times 10, and then we'll have another one for next month. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing all of you and working with you this school year.